Let's first of all just get a couple of snapshot numbers from you. If we, all else equal, got to the 30th of March next year, but had a full Remain or a full no-deal Brexit, where could we end up on the British pound against the US dollar?
I think it could be 15, 20 cents either direction.
So we're talking sort of 145 or 110?
Yeah, exactly, because if you think back to where we were on the night of the referendum back in 2016, when everybody thought we were going to remain, we were trading at 150. Now, obviously, lots of other things happen, but why shouldn't we be back at that level if everything's cancelled and we'd rip up Article 50? Equally, if we have no deal, and we have that level of uncertainty that goes with that, and all the expectations that we would go with something that had been negotiated, so there's no transition phase, there's no anything, I think that could take another 10% easily off sterling from where we are. So why not 110 or maybe even a little lower?
And in the shorter term, the other question has been whether or not Theresa May can hold on to power. Clearly that has implications for Brexit. But just on that issue itself, if she were to face a vote of no confidence and lose it, the short-term uncertainty that brings up, will we see weakness from 125 level on the British pound?
Well, I think we would. And again, though, it depends where the vote of no confidence comes from. If it comes from within her party, is there a chance that she will be deposed? At the moment, the numbers still suggest no. If there is a vote of no confidence within Parliament, and that leads to a general election, huge amount of uncertainty about that, generated both by we don't know how the British public will vote, but also we're doing it in the middle of winter, so that would even increase the uncertainty around that. So would we see a sell-off of sterling? Absolutely. Would we be below that 119, 120 level we got to back in the lows of 2017? Yeah, I think very easily.
In terms of whether or not Theresa May can secure further concessions so that her sort of middle ground approach to Brexit were then able to get through Parliament, would that be something that was positive for the pound, and how likely an eventuality is it that she can rescue her Brexit deal?
Well, I think right now the expectation of this market is that anything that's going to be given from Europe right now is going to be relatively minor in nature. It's going to be an addition to the withdrawal agreement rather than being a change to the withdrawal agreement. In those circumstances, I suspect that the bounce in the pound would be pretty modest. And the simple reason for that is it's unlikely that you would see Parliament really changing its mind on this, particularly the Brexiteers. They want to see the backstop taken out. Without that, they're still going to vote against it. In those circumstances, I think that any upside for sterling is very limited indeed.
So we're all focused on the pound at the moment. Should we be focused on the euro as well? Are there negative implications for the rest of the eurozone from Brexit?
Well, I mean,
or other issues?
No, well, I mean, there's always issues for Europe, right? In the short term, I think if you're talking about where the safe haven against sterling is, it's still going to be the euro. But there are big issues building up underneath that. We've got the French story going on at the moment. Obviously, there's going to be this additional spending taking place over Christmas, which doesn't look as though it's going to be taxed either. So we're going to have an increase on the budget side there. We've still not resolved the Italian issue. And behind it all, there's still deeper political forces at play, particularly in Hungary and in Czechoslovakia. Those are still going to weigh on Europe. The worst thing they need right now, actually, is a strong euro. And, of course, ECB tomorrow supposedly is going to wind up its bond purchase programme. You could have the worst of all worlds for Europe.